How did you find the traffic?
Um,
Especially over the weekend.
So the weekend actually wasn't so bad. So I ventured further, I don't know if I should call it west or east, towards Shongotedo, right?
To my village.
Yeah. And I was shocked just at the amount of traffic. So I know there's construction happening.
A lot.
But I left very early, like I left home very early. So I decided to, what's the word? When I saw the amount of traffic, I said, I'm going to spend the whole day. No, I actually came because I was speaking at an event.
Okay.
But when I saw the amount of traffic going back, I just thought, there's no point me, rushing back. So I just got stuff done on that side of town and didn't go back till much later at night. And even then, there was still traffic. But at that time, I started to see a couple of petrol stations that had a few cars. And I remember asking the driver to say, oh, is there fuel scarcity? I haven't heard anything. And he says, oh, no, he doesn't think so. Then yesterday, someone said to me, oh, how are you coping with the fuel? I'm thinking, I haven't left my house. I don't know what's going on. And then today we come out and
there's no fuel.
So now it's funny because we don't know if there is or there isn't. But anyway,
we'll talk about it later.
We'll get to that. So here's what we found as today's quote. So when truths are frozen, beliefs are born. Beliefs are not the same as truths, just like a picture of a man is not the same as the man himself. Hence, belief does not represent reality, which is complex and even changing like a living being. So that's from Odesh Singh. What do you think? Where are you on the myths?
Oh, I'm a fan of myth, especially Greek mythology, especially. So I understand the dynamics of myth, and I know how it reflects human beliefs and the systems, and where we look up to, twisting or changing the dynamics of the myth to suit our own perspective. So yes, I agree with that. And since we're discussing the myth of politics tonight, I can't wait to see how
to the conversation.
Demystify that.
So a political myth is an ideological narrative that is believed by social groups. In 1975, Henry Tudor defined it in the book Political Myth. He said that myths are believed to be true even if they may be false, and they are devices with dramatic constructions used in order to come to grips with reality. So Kunle Lawal is here to discuss myths and realities of politics, but first we'll take a break to see what we found in the news. Stay with us. You're still watching Ways. Now, National Send a Card to a Friend Day is celebrated today, February 7th, and reminds us to send friendly cheer via mail. We do that by sending a note or a message on a card to the friends we hold dear. Sending a card to someone for a variety of reasons dates back to ancient times. The Chinese as well as the Egyptians would send elegantly designed messages, though on different types of paper. During the Renaissance, greeting cards gained popularity for specific holidays and events. Victorian times increased the use of greeting cards for Valentine's Day, which is around the corner, Christmas, birthdays, and much more. So while our more digital era may have turned away from the flowery language of greeting cards, it's surprising 80% of adults still purchase them today. While they may only make these purchases for special occasions and are more likely to include them with a gift when they are attending an event they are purchasing. That said, retailers continue to reduce their footprint in the greeting card aisle. So when was the last time you sent a card?
Via mail?
Well,
yes.
Let's start with physical cards.
The last time I sent a card, to be candid, was about 5 years ago.
Oh,
actually,
wow.
that's been a while. Thanks to the advent of email, and you have e-cards that you can actually send to.
Yeah. So when was the last time you sent an e-card?
Oh, I did that last December. Actually.
Okay, December.
That was when I did that. Absolutely. So for me, I think the aspect of us sending the physical cards, that I think it's more of the baby boomers and those that are much older that are into sending cards. The Gen Zs And the Gen X, of course, they wouldn't even care about that. And the thing that is so beautiful about, sending greeting cards or sending cards to a loved one, then you would go to a shop, you would take your time,
Find
you
the one
pick,
with the right words.
you pick the one with the right words, the one that actually speaks to you, But now it's like, oh, flip, it's fine. No, it's okay, let's send this one.
So you have more choice now. And I think
Absolutely.
I remember that because buying cards used to be such a thing. You would take your time, the right design, the right
Absolutely.
message. And then I remember when they started to create the blank
handmade.
cards. Yes, and you could write your
Yeah.
own messaging. So I like the
Absolutely.
idea, even though I think now digital has given us more options because, there's so many apps where you can go and create messaging. But I think I agree with you that it also has sort of watered it down because now you don't even think about it. But then the idea of writing a card. So I think I came from a family that, sent cards a lot. And I think now I'm down to just Christmas. And even last Christmas, I didn't even buy cards. So it is dying. But I think for me, the thing is to remember the sentiment behind it, to make sure that we share our feelings with our friends and family.
Absolutely.
So let's move on. What did you find for us in the news?
Oh, Lagos. The problem we are
The
going through.
phantom that we're not sure is or isn't.
We've not heard anything from Nupeng, neither have we heard from NNPC, neither have we heard from what's it called, Pengasin as well. So there is I won't call it like, it's like a hoax in the air that
we're not sure if it is or it
really
isn't.
sure
but
of what
queues.
is actually going on, but there are queues on the roads of Lagos currently, or the streets of Lagos. So we have the heading that says fuel scarcity hits some parts of Lagos as anxiety and confusion mounts. And for me, this is it actually, you feel uncomfortable because you do not even know what is actually happening. There was this, according to the story, it says that when you go to the mainland in Lagos State, that some people are not having fuel scarcity. But you stated it earlier when we were in the makeup room that, you had some colleagues who actually stated that they were experiencing fuel scarcity as well in Lagos.
So right now, we're not sure if it's panic buying. We're not
experiencing-
sure what it is.
Why are we going through this right now? So I need them to, call us to order and give us the idea of
Somebody
what's
just needs to
actually
tell us what's
happening.
going on, because I
What's
think
really happening.
we're used to the fuel scarcity coming with some sort of strike or some sort of hike in price. There's a reason. So now we just don't know what's going on.
And this is also coming in amidst the the banter or the banter between the federal government and the people to say whether they should remove fuel
or removing the subsidy or not.
For me, they should just remove it so that we know what
Yeah,
we're
it's
facing.
like ripping off the Band-Aid. Let's just do it
Yes,
once.
they should just rip it off.
Once and for all,
Absolutely.
right? Okay. Right, so what is my story? Well, mine is more of a celebratory note. I'm sure that a month ago when the African Cup of Nations started, I don't watch a lot of football, but I'm not sure that Senegal would have been my pick of countries to win. But
Senegal won.
Senegal, won the African Cup of Nations. Last night they won and they've gone on. So my headline says Senegal declares national holiday to celebrate AFCON win.
Aww.
So Senegal's President Macky Sall declared Monday a public holiday today to celebrate the national football team's first ever African Cup of Nations win following their 4-2 defeat or their 4-2 win over Egypt, and I believe it went to penalties. And feedback that I've had about the match has said that they did play a really good game, and so it's congratulations. It's a very small, very small West African country,
but I think it's a big feat. It was a big feat.
It was.
Yes,
This is the first time ever, so
Yes.
worthy of celebrating. So congratulations to the Senegalese team and
They must
in
have
fact
done
to all the
something
Senegalese people.
right during their training this time. I
I
really wish Nigeria had.
And I just felt like there was heartbreak for me because Nigeria started off so well. We were so
Yes.
strong in the group stages. And then our very first knockout match, it was like
and we were
basketballs. And we were out, and I was like, it was like, what just happened? What just happened? What just happened? But that's football. That's sport in general. You just never know
What will
when
happen.
the tide will turn. So
Yes.
again, good luck. Well,
Congratulations
them.
to Senegal.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So we'll take a quick
Absolutely.
break, and we will see you shortly.
It is engagement we need to have.
Those who suffer miscarriages are never taken into account.
Members of the National Assembly are also influence peddlers.
You are sitting on Nigerians' money.
From the barbing, I pay my rent. On the barbing, I send my children to school.
A consultative engagement.
No any tangible notification before they ban us.
It's one thing for people to be at your back and the heat of the moment, and another thing for them to still be with you when push comes to shove.
I will do everything to take Lagos out of the national grid.
Thanks for staying with us. According to the Oxford Dictionary, myth means a traditional narrative involving supernatural or imaginary persons and embodying popular ideas on the natural or social phenomenon. It could also mean a widely held but false notion, a fictitious person, thing, or idea. We have created myths about our forefathers, which are not facts, but current attitudes about customs, neighbors, etc. Historically, people wrote about or believed what it meant and not what had actually happened. The rampant growth of political myths in the 20th century is often regarded as one of the most disturbing phenomena of the modern world. It's almost impossible to tell the difference between myths and reality being fed to the Nigerian masses. What are some of the popular political myths you've been fed, and what role have you played in debunking and educating people within and outside your circle? So please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 0818-038-4663. You can also tweet at us at WasteShowAfrica1 with the hashtag WasteShow. So, Issy.
Yes, please.
Political myths. Which one? You know, the funny thing about myths, right, is somebody has to tell you for you to even believe it to then realize or eventually realize it's a myth when somebody's debunking it.
Yes.
But I think one of the reasons why we focused on featuring politics and political related matters on Monday is because there's so much smoke and mirrors when it comes to politics. So many people talk about politics. You know, we're all passionate Nigerians. We're passionate about the reality of Nigeria, but
Absolutely.
we're not. What I find when I talk to people is we're not as educated, we're not as enlightened, we're not as aware. Like I say, it's like you're trying to play a game and you don't know the rules.
Exactly.
So when you start to talk to people, and the more that they've engaged people, you start to realize that a lot of the things that you've believed as almost sacrosanct are really not true. So I remember sort of having a conversation and saying, oh, you don't have to be a Lagosian. So I mean, I'm not a Lagosian, but I was born in Lagos and all of that. So I class myself as a Lagosian.
Absolutely.
So I think to myself, oh, if I wanted to run for office
Naturally.
in Lagos, is it possible? And it seemed like it wasn't. And then somebody said, actually, no, there's nothing that stops you from running in Lagos State.
Absolutely,
So
I was going to say
that
that.
in itself is
It's a myth.
that I've believed for so long. So
True.
what's the number one political myth that you've believed, and has it been debunked, or are you still believing?
Oh, Jesus, has anyone been debunked yet? Yes, I think the concept that politics is a dirty game. Yes, it has been debunked in the context that, you know, it's not about it being a dirty game. It's all about it being a game of relationships.
Okay.
So how well do we understand the relationships we have with electorate? How well does the politician understand the relationship he or she has with the electorate? What's the relationship between the legislature and governance? All of these are things that we have thought, oh, if you do not have a godfather, if you do not have some sort of thug, you will not be able to, ascend a particular level in politics, which I think is wrong.
So you think that that's a myth?
It is a myth. Another thing I think is a myth is the concept of the fact that I think our guest is also going to talk about it, that you can't actually contest for election without you having a huge sum of amount.
Okay, huge sum of money behind you.
So you need to have some sort of, humongous
backing, financial funding,
yes, humongous backing from someone who has the funds to back you up, basically. So I think that is a myth in the context that you can actually contest without you spending so much.
Wow.
And in some cases, win.
I think that some things, definitely will be debunked for me, because I think that finances is a huge part of running for office, and I think I'd be interested and really interested to hear how you can do it without having that huge funding.
Yeah.
But when I hear you say that, I think that those are some of the things that also led to the whole not too young to run, and that whole bill being passed, and the fact that young people just need to get more involved, and the idea is that knowledge is power, right? So if you're going to do this, you need to understand how you can do it and what we need to do. So it'll be an interesting conversation for us to bring in our guest. I think we're going to bring in our guest, and he'll be joining us shortly. Kunle Lawal is an entrepreneur, idea generator, TEDx speaker, and patriot. He has a keen eye for opportunities based on his experience in politics, working with non-governmental organizations and the federal government. He currently serves as the executive director of the Electoral College Nigeria and the country lead for WordChat. He was once an acting national publicity secretary of Cover Party, Alliance for New Nigeria senatorial candidate of 2019, and has since transitioned to a non-partisan influential player in politics and electoral matters in Nigeria. So I think we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, Kunle will join us. What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect them. If you no talk, then go beat you. Now 2,500 they pay.